Hi, this is Cord, and today we'll be doing a tutorial on how to effectively use Groove Agent within Cubase. So if you guys didn't know, Cubase is the other DAW that I like to use. I think it has some cool features, and maybe later I'll do a video kind of comparing and contrasting it to Ableton. So either way, I have my media bay up here. It's Cubase's version of the browser, and I'm just going to start dropping some samples into Groove Agent. It's just your classic drag and drop scenario. Groove Agent is essentially an MPC clone. It works sort of like Machine or Ableton's drum racks. So I'm going to drop in a snare. There are 3 different ways to drop into a pad. There's multi-sample mode if you'd like to divide different samples up by velocity and use them all at the same time. So here we go. You can just sort of drag these edges. It's pretty intuitive, and then if you hit a low velocity, you'll get this sample. At a high velocity, you'll get this sample. Moving up into my kicks. Alright, so the other sample modes are exchange. So if I have these 2 samples in and I want to change their pad, I can just use the exchange icon. And the third icon is just the replace, if you'd like to replace all the samples that are currently on that pad. Going back, Groove Agent is pretty intuitive. There's a lot of interesting menu diving you can get into here. There's pitch, filter, amplitude, sample, slice, MIDI effects. In your main mode, there is some interesting playback if you'd like a vinyl style playback, or if you'd like an MPC style playback. There's a mixer for grouping, and you can add effects on your mixer if you don't want to eat up a ton of CPU externally. If you don't care about eating a CPU externally, you can activate multiple outputs within Cubase and just drop directly underneath them and start parallel processing. This is useful if you want to get the kick isolated by itself and really heavily process it or something along those lines. So going back to the instrument, if you'd like to activate those outputs, you just go to your main tab and just output and just choose it. Either way, one other effective tip is using Beat Designer to sort of get your grooves laid down. If you don't want to write all your grooves down individually and you just want to get something out quickly because you're testing out ideas, you can use this sort of like Ableton's clip view. You just sort of draw in MIDI notes. If you click high, it's high velocity. If you click low on it, it's low velocity, and you can add flams down at the bottom. Then you just press play, and this will play over the top of whatever you have playing. Make sure you're careful about leaving this on because it takes preference over any MIDI notes that are drawn in your MIDI browser. And then if you'd like to switch between different different little grooves that you're sampling, you can use a MIDI keyboard or click down here manually, and there are 4 different tabs for cycling through those. After you have your beats kind of laid out, you can just drag and drop directly from this into your into your project folder. So I hope this was useful, and I hope you get into Groove Agent.